Two girls, no fights. Two girls, no fights. Hi, everybody. This is
Two Girls.
No Fucks. And
no, you did it backwards. You say hi all the way. Hi, everybody. This is.
Hi, I'm new. I'm new. I'm new here. I'm an intern.
It's been a week since our last video.
It's been a week. Okay. What do I say? Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. This is Two Girls.
No Fucks.
And today we are going to be talking about
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Which I'm sure we all experience.
Yes, and we're going to start off by just... Actually, no. We have a new...
Oh, yeah. We have a new segment on our show.
Segment.
It's called Serial Thrifter's Gem of the Week. No, it's called... What can we call it?
Top pick. Serial Thrifter's top pick of the week.
Yeah.
Or not, like, where do you want to make it like a catchy...
Like a catchy cereal. Crunch of the week. No, that's tacky. Ew. Serial Thrifter's Pick of the Week.
And if you have a better name for this segment after you see it, comment below.
Yeah, cereal related.
Yes, of course.
But this is where I show you my favorite thing that's in the shop right now. Now, I have to preface this by saying I'm not a fancy bitch at all.
No.
Like, not at all.
Neither
But
of us are.
this just landed in the shop. It's a Coach Dino Bag. I had never seen one in my life, so of course I went online and looked up the Coach Dino Bag. Yeah.
Is it made of dinosaur?
It's made of pure dinosaur skin, sourced
Wow. From the Jurassic era.
from the Jurassic era. But kidding aside, it's from Coach, and then they actually have an entire series of dino bags, like some with little dinos everywhere. So I thought I'd share that this is my... Yeah, it's just your classic
tote.
Classic, put shit in it. It's clean, it's cute. There it is. It's now listed on Serial Classy, not on Serial Thrifter, but, you know, under the Serial Thrifter umbrella, if you will.
And Serial Thrifter is linked below, and you can follow it on Instagram and find all the links to the other pages there as well.
Amazing. Now, imposter syndrome, I'm going to read you the definition because it's important. Imposter syndrome is loosely defined as doubting your abilities and feeling like a fraud.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure it's
That's
something we all experience.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say...
Yeah, what's your experience with imposter syndrome?
I feel like mostly it became more prevalent in my life as I became an adult.
Yeah.
I just by looking out at the social media world and everything that's hashtag millennial and adulting and things like that, I do feel like we're talking more about it. Maybe this is something that's always happened for generations, but nobody like admitted it.
Yeah.
That we all feel like we're just kind of faking it till we make it in a lot of areas of our lives. For me, mainly it's been work related with my online fitness coaching, like just being a personal trainer. Before, when I first started, I just, I felt like I wasn't, who was I to be someone to train other people? It even stemmed from when I was in roller derby, and people would always ask me if I wanted to coach and teach roller derby. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So so I felt that way with sports, with work, and as now as like a certified yoga teacher too, I still feel it every time I go to teach a class.
That makes sense.
I'm hoping that it will stop at some point.
Yeah. What I want to know, if you can remember, because this will be interesting for me as well, because I'm trying to think now, like, do I remember a time in my life where I first experienced imposter syndrome? So can you think about for you when it... Because, I mean, it is possible that we felt it when we were young, but, like, if as far back as you can think, when's the first time that you can remember feeling like, wait a minute,
it came to me like that.
Did it?
Like that.
Like that!
I just thought, because it's, like, such a shitty feeling.
Yeah.
The first time I really genuinely felt it, I was about 16, maybe 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I was playing soccer competitively for, that age group.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try out for a much more challenging competitive team, and they were an age group above me.
Yeah.
And I tried out. I was picked for the team, joined the team, and we started practicing together. We went on this camping trip. We went to a tournament and we camped because the coach thought it would be a good way to get all these girls to get to know each other. But the thing is, that core group of older girls were already very close.
Yeah.
and I was brand new and younger.
Yeah.
And I felt absolutely like I shouldn't be there. I wasn't as, like, I just didn't deserve to be there. I wasn't equipped, or I wasn't adequate enough to be a part of that group. And it was like the first feeling of just feeling very like an imposter. Like they're going to find me out. And when they find out that I don't belong, then I'm going to be asked to leave.
They're going to make a scene.
Yeah, and they're going to kick me out of there.
They're going to kick you out, send you home.
So that's where it really started, that first feeling of being like, I don't belong here. They're going to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think mine started when I worked at the bank. But I don't think it's when I was a teller. I think it's when I started to be in management, probably.
Makes sense.
I always thought I was going to get fired. I always live with that thought, actually, that like no matter what I'm doing, no matter how many accolades I get, I'm always like, phone call comes in from my boss, I'm getting fired.
Yeah.
I'm getting fired. It's actually, we can laugh about it, but it's fucking terrifying.
It is. It's a lot of anxiety.
It's a lot of unnecessary anxiety. And yeah, it's really like, so it's always good to know that this as well is always good to know if you're out there and you're listening and you're like, oh, thank God, it's not just me. It's almost everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not a good feeling.
No, I feel the same way about my job now. It's the same thing. If I get a phone call, it's like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Even though I've never had an issue ever in my life.
Yeah.
And even though I've gotten certifications and all that, that feeling is still there a little bit.
Yeah. And so today we're going to talk about not only our experience with imposter syndrome, but some of our tips and tricks to handle it, because it's always good to have things in your tool belt that you can pull out when you're having a difficult moment, especially if you're being mindful and you can realize what's happening, because again, mindfulness is all about really being in tune with what's going on in your fucked up brain sometimes, to be like, wait a minute, I think I'm experiencing imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. Let me pull out a tool to deal with it. And that's what life's all about.
Yes.
So you can get to a place where you're not always in autopilot and reactionary and stressed out.
Yeah, you're not always going to be able to eliminate it from your life.
No.
But being able to acknowledge it and kind of live with it and work with it.
Yeah. I also experienced a lot of, this past year, I went through a little bit of a medical scare, and it really fucked with my head, as you know. And it was like, for my life coaching, I have taught people mindfulness and how to like rise above all these things for so long, and I thought I was a well-oiled mindfulness machine, and I am to a certain degree. That being said, I had never experienced really serious or like potentially serious health complications, and it really fucked with my head, and I was spiraling. And then all of a sudden I thought, well, I can't coach other people. Like, if I can't handle my own situation, I can't coach other people. And it took me a long time to find strength in that experience. And I am going to talk about that as one of my tips. But yeah, it's really, really insane how much it affects everybody in different ways. And if you don't realize what's happening, it can be really crippling.
Yeah, it can just sneak up on you in any area of your life.
Yeah.
And then you have the mindfulness part will help you recognize it and realize that it's not a real thing. And it's something, like we talked a bit too about where does it come from? How does it even start? How does that manifest into your life in the first place? And for me, I'll just speak personally, I would say just stuff that happens when you're a kid. For me, just moments where I was told that I wasn't smart enough, or that I didn't know what I was doing, or something like that. It sticks with you. Yeah. And then as you become an adult, Kim has talked a lot to me about, being mindful, and you can speak to your younger self, your little kid version of yourself that just kind of like stays up here all the time. And often that little kid is the one that's kind of feeding you some of these ideas. Yeah. And you can recognize like, oh, you're just the kid that was told that. Don't worry, we got tools here to help you realize that this isn't the case. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's really helpful to that point. Like, always realizing that there's a young version of yourself that's right there with you, and you're actually working as a team. And that younger version does feed you stories, and it's important to talk to it like you're talking to somebody else. Yeah. But when you realize you're not alone, it kind of feels good to know that, we're a team. It's me, and I'm also responsible for this small version of myself. So it's, it makes you kind of step to the plate a little bit and be like, okay, we got this. Yeah. Teamwork. Makes the dream work. what are your top, you said you had a couple of tips.
Well, for me, the way that I manage it now, the first thing that I kind of do is acknowledge that it's probably stemming from something that's not real, that doesn't exist anymore. It's something maybe I was told once as a kid, or a feeling that's crept in, like feeling inferior. I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you a story. So,
Story time.
I actually had to go to a work lunch like not long ago for the holidays, and as I was driving there, I was feeling very inferior. I was feeling very anxious because I was like, I don't belong with this group of people because my position's a lower level than these people. They are more authoritative, senior people, and I'm just this person who just does this job that's way less important. And like, I was having that kind of imposter syndrome feeling of like I don't belong and I'm really uncomfortable and they're going to find out that I'm not as smart as them and all that sort of thing. So as that was happening, the mindfulness came into play, and I kind of acknowledged those thoughts and saw them happening in my mind and was like, you have a really cool life story. You are a person that's lived a lot of different lives, and you contribute more to this world than just your job.
Yes.
Also, these people are a little bit older than me, so for sure they're going to have more experience, they're going to be in different levels of their career, all that sort of thing, but it doesn't mean that they're smarter or superior as a human being.
Yeah.
And I think that mind frame has been drilled into us maybe in school and things like that, that authoritative people or people in more powerful positions are superiors. Mm-hmm. And they're really just other humans with other life experiences and things like that. So I actually had that conversation with myself as I was driving, being like, this isn't a real thing. We're all just people. They're very, very friendly. They're so nice. Yeah. And they want to just get to know you as a person, and nobody cares about how old you are, what job you do, and things like that at the end of the day. And I had a great time. But that kind of stuff sneaks in. So I try and be mindful to start with, like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is just faking it till I make it, because I'm a very anxious-y person when it comes to socializing and just in my job and things like that. And even with coaching, I know I have the credentials. I know I have the experience. I've done all the things I need to do to be in the position that I am. Yeah. And if everyone else believes in me, I just have to like fake it if I don't believe in myself right now. And usually by the time whatever event it is or game or match or class that I'm teaching, after it's over, I'm just like, oh, that was totally fine. I was fine.
Yeah. It's kind of like being an actor on stage too. Like, nobody out there knows if you're conflicted or if you made a mistake or if you said the wrong thing, and that's the thing that we do. We tend to like look inwards and like keep terrorizing ourselves about like something that we may have said wrong or done wrong. Nobody else cares.
No one even noticed.
Nobody even noticed.
Yeah.
Those are some good tips.
Thank you. Now I want to hear yours.
Okay. Number 1, there's enough room in any given market for everybody that's there, and everybody brings something unique to the table. And that one came to me with Serial Thrifter, because I've been doing Serial Thrifter for quite a few years. Obviously, there's tons of thrift shops popping up, which I love. Mm-hmm. And some people have really cool shit. And, like, you'll never have the same cool shit, especially in the land of thrift, right? Like, no matter what cool stuff I have, I'm always looking at other people's stuff. I'm like, that's really cool. And it occurred to me that what I bring to the table is very unique. What another thrift shop brings to the table is very unique. Like, there could be 100 thrift shops and all of us could do well because we all have something unique. I know that I'm, for example, I know that I'm consistent. I know that I have an incredible customer service. I know I have great stuff.
Yeah.
I know the way I talk to people is really unique, and that makes me who I am. Other people have their own thing that makes them who they are. So anytime I start to like, oh no, like, I'm not like, I don't have, like, I just remember the stuff that I bring to the table, what my strengths are, and it's incredible how quickly I can turn that horse around.
Totally. This really hits me as well, because with yoga teacher training that I did and becoming a yoga teacher, I definitely felt the same way. And of course, there's a million yoga teachers out there. There's a ton of studios, and there's going to always be space for everybody. And what I was taught during my training was that what you are as an individual and what you bring to the class as yourself is what is the special part about being a teacher. And then there's not like, there's only so much education you can have, and you can only memorize so many like nice, cool things to say, but what you bring as an individual person, your perspective, your experiences to that class
Yeah.
is like what's going to make that class special.
Yeah.
And same with you with Serial Thrifter. No one else has your specific eye. No
Yeah.
one has your style. No one has Kim's outlook perspective on fashion and what's good to grab and stuff like that. So for sure, I really like that one. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say.
And you know, like we said, imposter syndrome is not necessarily ever going to go away. It's really just about talking yourself through it every time. Like legit, people come here for the first time and see the shop and they're like, oh my God, I love everything. And it always shocks me because I see this shit all the time. And I'm like, oh, you know, some days are just like that. Our monkey brains tell us all kinds of bullshit things that we don't want to hear, but that we have to listen to. So that was my number 1 tip. Number 2, my setbacks are a part of my journey and I wouldn't be where I am without them. So anytime I feel like I'm just not doing enough, or I failed at this, or like, oh my God, this other account made a GIF for themselves, or this other account is doing this, or this other life coach is doing this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot of things we can do as a business. For my life coaching, I've been wanting to post my testimonials forever. I haven't done it yet. I'll see a testimonial like, damn it, I like really should be posted. But, you know, I am doing something different. I'm, you know, like I'm doing a weekly happiness tip or whatever it is that I'm doing is very unique. Or I see another life coach and they're way further ahead and it's like, wait, like I want to brand myself. It's like, I know I want to do something. I will do it. My setbacks when I fail to do something or when I forget to do something or when I haven't done something yet or when something's hard, those are the things that make me better. I can't coach somebody if I haven't experienced hardship, for example.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd be a terrible life coach if somebody came to me and they were struggling with their finances, and I'd be like, never for a fucking day in my life struggled with my finances that I can't understand. I've been broke so many times. You know what I mean? Like, I've been fired, you know, I've been dumped, I've cheated, I've done so many things. The shit that I've done wrong is what helps me be a good life coach.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Serial Thrifter. The stuff that I fuck up along the way is what helps me be better at my job. So just when you're having a setback or when you're failing at something, it's actually part of the process. Embrace it.
100%. And part of what you can do as well, depending on what it is that you're having imposter syndrome with, is allow people to give feedback.
Yes.
So with my yoga teaching, I'm still very new, and after the class, I always ask people, like, I just say, I'm a new teacher, I would love to hear, like, where you think I could improve, and, like, because if you just say feedback, they might not feel comfortable to give you the feedback you're looking for, so if you offer, like, I want to get better, I want to improve what I'm doing, let me know what I can do to improve. Also with my coaching, I do the same thing. I always reach out to the clients after the program's over and get feedback, and I let them send it by email or whatever, so it's comfortable for them to provide that feedback and use it. Whereas in the past, I might have been more insecure and been like, I screwed it up. Damn it, it wasn't
Everyone
perfect.
hates me.
It wasn't perfect. Whereas now I'm excited most of the time when someone actually has some constructive feedback for me.
Yeah.
Because I want to get better and it really has helped me with my programming, find like the weaknesses or the holes and stuff that I can tighten up and make better.
Yeah. I love that. So important to be able to ask for feedback and not take the feedback personally.
Yeah.
Number 3, make imposter syndrome your friend and expect it to come and visit, so that when it visits you, you can say, hey, here you are. Stay a while. Because,
again.
yeah, like it's going to come visit you. It's like anything